There's 4 seats.
No, I know.
Okay.
My last name starts with AE. I sat in front of my whole
All right, well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Coffee with the Principal. I hope that people were able to get the live stream link. I have a number of things to tell you about today. First, I'm really excited, and thank you to Friends of Gala for helping us fund the PSAT test that all of our 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th graders are taking this week. The district does fund all 10th graders, but our Friends of Gala help fund the 8th, 9th, and 11th. The 11th grade is the only one that this counts for anything, and it doesn't go, I know there's been a lot of rumors out there, it does not go to colleges at all, except you can click on it if you do so that you can get information from colleges, but the scores themselves don't go into any college records, nothing like that, except for the 11th grade, because this helps them qualify for National Merit Scholarship. So that is 11th grade, definitely they want to click that. They want colleges to see their scores. But the 8th and 9th grade test is a completely different test than the 10th and 11th grade test. It's a PSAT Lite, and it allows them to see what it's like to have that testing atmosphere in English and math, and it also allows them to get an idea of what skills they're going to need for that test. And then once they'll get their exam scores back in December. And once they get those exam scores back, they can develop a College Board account and they can have access to all these different resources. So it's really a great opportunity for them to start doing the exploring college search in 8th grade. So I will be going along with the middle school counselor to the 8th grade classes starting in December, explaining their scores, what it means, what do they need to work on, and then helping them develop their College Board accounts. So I'm really excited for them to begin exploring college and seeing different opportunities they have, different majors, that kind of thing. And also we have started we haven't quite figured out what our term is. We're calling it Gala College Board, which is a group of parents and our counselors and a lot of outside college consultants for our current high school students to start really bringing in a lot of, if you've noticed in the newsletter, there's been a lot of college representatives coming to the school. And so we're starting to develop that with the students that they can come hear about different colleges. And we actually have had great colleges from Brandeis to MIT to USC, and it'll be really interesting to see where these girls end up in a year applying for college. It'll be our first graduating class in a year, so pretty exciting. I also want to talk to you about emergency drill. So we'll have our earthquake drill along with pretty much every public agency in the state of California has earthquakes called Shake 18. And that'll be next Thursday at 10 in the morning. The girls will do a drop hole drill and then we'll evacuate to the field. And then we'll set up as though we would have a release point for parents. So it's everything as though it would be a normal drill, so that they just get used to it. And what's great is when we have our Monday morning assembly, they're all in the right spots that they're supposed to go to on the field in order to evacuate. So, but it's a reminder to all of us to be earthquake safe and to make sure we have our supplies updated in our homes, in our cars. Since we're such a commuter population, make sure you have water and first aid supplies, etc., in your car in case an earthquake hits when you're in your car. Which has happened several times to me, as well as being at a school and also being at home. So yes, definitely want to be, reminded to be earthquake safe. A couple of parents had asked about a small fire that was in the boys' bathroom last week. It actually was just in a small trash can. It was put out within seconds of being started, but there was a lot of smoke because it was paper. And so I did evacuate one of our classrooms because of the smoke, but the rest of the school was not affected at all. So we just stayed where we were. We have unfortunately had a lot of false alarms at our school because of the construction they're doing on the auditorium. For some reason, when they do that construction, it trips the alarms. So it hasn't been too bad this year. Last year was like literally almost every day we were having a trip of an alarm. So Luckily, that's not happening that much this year, but I am in constant communication with LA High. And as soon as an alarm is hit, they communicate with me that's a false alarm or where it is. So it's in the boys' gym or it's in, wherever it is. So we have great communication in terms of emergency situations between LA High and myself. So just wanted to reassure those parents that, especially that class that got evacuated, like, no, it was no big emergency. It's just there was so much smoke. I didn't really feel like it was conducive to the educational environment. There was only about 10 minutes left in class. So we just came out and had some fresh air. So, but again, earthquake, reminder to update all of your supplies at home and in the car as well. I wanted to remind everybody about More Than a Meal campaign. As of a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, we had 80 families still had not put their More Than a Meal campaign form in, their meal form. It's vital that we got everybody. As of this week, it's down to 45. So we did a really good push last week with the text I sent out. And then I know that parents are calling, parent representatives from grade levels are calling parents, and that's helping as well. But those last couple of forms, we have to get them in. We have to have 100% of the forms filled in. Even if you think you're not going to use it, please fill it out because it does mean money for our school. So I want to get that word out. And if you think you have not done it, please, you can do it over again. I'd rather have more submittals and under submittals. So I wanted to also talk about absent tardy calls because I've gotten a lot of parents talking to me about that. Whether your child is on a field trip or they're tardy, you are going to get a phone call home. So if you know your child is on a field trip, you know that you are going to get an absence call because they're technically absent from school, excused for a field trip. But they're still alerting you to the fact that they're absent from school. They're not in our school, they're on a field trip. So it will be excused by the school. You don't have to write a note or anything, but you will get that phone call. So just so you're aware of that. If your child is tardy to any period, you might get one of those calls. Because you'll notice in the call it says absent or tardy. And we've had quite a bit of problems with some of our girls being tardy first for advisory. And probably you've noticed now that I'm out at the gate now yelling, you have 1 minute to kind of hurry them along. Because even when you drop them off, they very slowly walk to the campus. And technically they are supposed to be in their classroom when the bell rings. So in their classroom, in their seat when the bell rings. So if they're walking up to the campus, that is tardy. And you will be getting those calls. So just to be aware of that. Probably, we're going to get our 10-week grades this week. The teachers turn them in on Friday. So hopefully you'll get them sometime in the middle of next week, depending on the bail in your area. But these are the midterm of the semester. So you will get A, B, C, D fail. And you'll get some comments. And it would be really important to kind of be on top of these grades because those are a halfway indicator. And the final indicator would be the 20. So the only grades that go on anybody's permanent record is the 20 week. For middle school, permanent record stays here, except for 2 classes, algebra and Spanish. Those 2 classes do count for the permanent high school and college record. But for everything else, it just stays here. So it's not anything to panic about. I know a lot of our girls are very much want to get straight A's and are very, concerned about their grades. But again, this is an indicator they are doing standards-based learning. So as long as they are really trying hard and going to office hours, then they should be able to bring up any grade if they're uncomfortable with what their grade is. And then they need to continue to keep their grades up if they have A's or B's. And then parent conferences will be on October 16th after school, 3:45 to 5. And for those of you coming from elementary school, let me explain to you, these are not like the parent conferences that you had in elementary school where you had one teacher with maybe 30 students and you set up a time. You now have 6 teachers who all have up to 150 students each day. So there's no possibility of having that kind of time with the teacher on that particular day. You can always email. You can email through Schoology, and you can also set up a meeting with the teacher if you're uncomfortable with anything that's going on in the classroom or the grades or anything else. And so that day, it's literally a 5-minute check-in. So we have um, clipboards on every teacher's doorway, and you get here at 3:40. You go and sign up for a 5-minute meeting. It really is not more than 5 minutes. So it's not. I would say if your daughter is doing fine, she's comfortable, you're comfortable, it's not really something that you would come to. But if you're having problems, she's having problems in the class, you're having problems understanding the teacher's instructions for her, there might be a chance to have a 5-minute check-in. But if you want a more extensive meeting, then yes, definitely set up an appointment with the teachers. They all have conference periods, they have office hours, they have time before and after school they can meet with you. So if there's any concerns about your child's grades or anything else really going on in the class. Let's see. We are seeing, as you probably noticed, a lot of chatter about uniform violations, typically more in the high school than the middle school. But we are, all the teachers, advisory teachers, and everyone else are really working on making sure that everybody's in full uniform. Until everybody's in full uniform, we won't have a quote unquote free dress day that a lot of the girls are asking for. And I'm very strong about that. Until our whole community is following the uniform rules, we won't be able to do that. But there's always one exception, and that is Halloween. So girls can dress up for Halloween. I'll be sending out a letter later this week. And I've also told a couple of the girls and a couple of the advisories appropriate costumes, no like bare midriffs or heels or anything like that, appropriate shoes, and then no masks and no weapons, so or fake weapons. So the sabers and stuff. Yeah, sorry, can't do it.
What about makeup?
They can do light makeup, yeah. So not so much makeup that you can't figure out who they are, because that's a safety concern. So the question was for those of you out there, can they wear makeup? Absolutely, but not so much that we can't figure out who they are, because yeah, the safety concern. Want to make sure everybody's safe and having a great day. I believe we are going to have our haunted house again. That's up to the parent committee, because they have really helped us with that in the past. It was before school and during advisory and sometimes during 7th that they had this great haunted house in this room, which is very cool. We'll probably have our decorating the door contests that the advisories do. And then I'm hoping this year we're also going to have a costume parade, which will be kind of fun. Everybody on the campus, even the high schoolers, tend to love Halloween and love to have a chance to be out of uniform. So they have elaborate costumes. Jeans and a t-shirt is not a costume, just let me say that. So either costume or uniform, one of the two. And so that's kind of all I had for all of you. Questions for me? Yes.
Okay, quick question. What tends to be the main violation for being out of uniform?
Oh, great question. So what's the main violation? There's a couple of them. One is inappropriate pants. So a lot of the girls have bought gray jeans. And so we have to talk to them about, no, there's particular pants you're supposed to wear. Some are wearing the wrong sweatshirt. So it has to be a gray or purple logoed, gala logoed sweatshirt. And some are wearing other things under the hoodies. So, they have to wear their polo shirt under the hoodie, because chances are they're going to take the hoodies off at some point and they need to have the polo shirt underneath.
I caught my daughter running out the house with funky socks on, and orange and bright green.
Yeah, the socks are another issue. Yeah. And then head coverings. So they're only allowed to have headbands. I can't remember the colors right now. I think it's black, white, gray, and religious head coverings. That's it. Okay. Other questions? Yes.
Is there a chance that there will be another pants option next year that are more comfortable? The ones that are from Land's End don't fit any of at least the 6 kids in our pool. Or is that something to talk to the parents?
So yeah, the question was, are there going to be another option for pants next year? Because some families feel like the pants from Land's End are uncomfortable. I'm certainly open to any discussion about that kind of thing in terms of comfort. Mm-hmm. At this point, there's so many options for them that I don't want to also overwhelm families with how many options we have. But definitely, if there's a more comfortable pant that's the same style of uniform pant, I would be totally open to it. And again, I think we had a committee of parents that were working on the uniform at one point, and can certainly talk to Fogala about, if they're going to reinstate that or what we're going to do with that. I forgot to mention something else. I did talk about a little bit about all the college options that are all the people that are coming to talk to our high schoolers. But we also have two amazing things that our high schoolers are doing. One is we have a group of 5 girls that are working with a researcher at La Brea Tar Pits doing original research with her. Very, very cool opportunity for them. They applied for it and it was a kind of rigorous application process, and they just started last week. So they're going there after school and doing all sorts of really great research with her. And then they will be writing up some of the research for themselves. And then we have another group of 5 girls who are working with the Marciano museum group with a innovation project. We don't know what it's going to look like yet because it's an innovation project, but they are just starting probably this week on that. So there's a lot of like really fun, great opportunities that our high school students are being allowed to apply for that are right here on our campus, and I'm really excited about that. And I also wanted to mention how well our middle school in particular, because it's mostly middle school, students are doing in the American Sign Language class. It is just awesome. That class is great. And I've walked in there a couple of times. It is like they're just talking away with American Sign Language. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're saying to each other, but I hope it's, great long sentences. And but it's very, very cool that they had that opportunity from LA Community College to take that class. Next semester, we are going to do a Spanish one and a American Sign Language 2. And we're also looking into West LA College, a psychology class for the high school. So, yeah, so we're really excited about being able to offer a lot of opportunities for the high school that they wouldn't normally get at another school.
My question is just actually in relation to the sports team,
Okay.
the tennis, and what happened with the tennis coach, and because I know that I just got notified that he wasn't coming back anymore. And also, is there anything that's in the works to offer the girls to extend the tennis program this year because of the accident?
Okay, so the question is a very specific question about CIF sports for the high school. So the tennis coach was hired but not processed. And can I just say, I love my district, but sometimes they take forever to process people. Because he wasn't processed in time to start the season, Miss Petrich, who, just amazingly she's already the athletic director for the school, but she just took on the coaching. She got a lot of insight from him about coaching. And then so she's been coaching the team until he got processed. And it just took long to process him. So he's now being processed as a volunteer coach, is what I understand, in which case he can still work with the team, with her as a volunteer. So that's the latest I heard on the tennis. But it does take a while to process coaches in particular, because if we're using off-campus coaches, I'm sure you can all understand as parents, we want to make sure that they are vetted very carefully before we allow them access to our girls. So there is a arduous process for off-campus coaches. Most of our coaches are our own teachers. So our lacrosse coach is a teacher here, our swim coach is a teacher here, our cross-country coach is a teacher here. So they're already vetted, and it's really easy for them to start coaching. But the off-campus coaches, which would be basketball, who was already vetted last year and should be very easy to get into again this year, the new tennis coach and the new JV basketball coach. We're working on vetting them right now. So no, the CIF rules are very clear about when your season is for every sport. You can't extend it on either end. It's very, very clear, because if you're violating rules across, it's a statewide organization, then it's not fair to other teams. So yeah, there wouldn't be any extension for that. And then, we're growing in our sports program. It's a really lively, wonderful program for our girls. And we do need help for the booster club, because it's hard to, typically at a high school, your football team raises lots of money through admission, tickets for admissions. And you use that money for your athletics program, for every part of your athletics program, to do the referees, to do the timers, all those kinds of things. Since we don't have that kind of revenue, we do have a booster club through Pogala that is starting to do fundraisers. I know we're talking about a Shakey's Night fundraiser where if you come and eat the, Shakey's, and a certain percentage comes to our booster club for athletics. So there's a bunch of things that will be coming forward, but it is something we need really badly right now in terms of just paying for our referees and our, that kind of thing. Okay. Any other questions for me before I turn over to Pogala? Are you going to Pogala? Okay. No questions? Anybody on getting text
one more
questions?
Thank you. We're really excited about swimming and PE starting this week.
Yeah. So that was a thank you for those of you out there that were starting PE. We're finally getting to use the pool and start swimming in PE this week. Hopefully something went home to parents about that, but if not, I have asked the PE department to send something home that swim lesson or swim, experience will be starting in PE. We do have a lifeguard and a teacher, so I'm not sure what grades are starting with this unit. Yeah, it's a rotation, and we've been on the campus for this is our third year, and this is the first time we're actually able to use the pool during the day. We've used it for our swim team, but we haven't had a chance to use it during the day, so it's kind of exciting. But I will have them send something home to you about that. And then a couple other personnel things that I wanted to talk about. I forgot. So I'm really excited. Our Spanish teacher is finally here. Yay! She is, amazing teacher. Undergraduate was UCLA, and she did Spanish literature. The girls have met her yesterday, and they're really excited to finally really dig into their Spanish instruction. We had an amazing sub who did her best. She was not a Spanish teacher, but she did her best to give as much instruction as she could. But now they're going to be kind of on a speed zone through the rest of the year to make sure they get through their entire Spanish 1 curriculum. So if you have a daughter in Spanish, they're going to be doing a lot of work. Hopefully when they're coming home and talking in Spanish, and they're doing homework in Spanish. So, and then also our wonderful Miss Cephas has decided to go back to a school that's closer to her home. She has young grandchildren that she wants to be closer to. So she is leaving us effective today, and I have already hired someone to take her place who will be coming in 2 weeks. So we'll have a sub for about 2 weeks. But a lovely Miss Buchanan, I think is the last name, but I think she goes by Miss Dana. And she was a former SAA at Crenshaw STEM and at Wonderland Avenue, and I think at Wilshire Crest. So very experienced, lovely, and we're really excited that she's accepted our offer. So yeah, that's the only personnel changes I can think of right now.
Can you mention school tours and the application, and if anybody would like to sign up for that?
Oh, okay. So I will mention that. We're in, as you probably know, I've said in the Sunday newsletter, tour season right now. So it's a little crazy for me because a lot of times I'm at night going to presentations. Was a lovely presentation at Reed, City Schools tonight. I think I've got Burroughs this week as well, and then a lot of elementary schools. And the elementary schools tend to be during the day. So I've asked for help from parents to go to their elementary school and represent our school, or their middle school and represent our school at some of these presentations. Usually it's a short, 2-minute presentation, and then you're just at a table talking to parents about the school. We have many materials. And then we also have tours here. Our next one, I believe, is the 16th, and we have one on the 26th, and we need parent volunteers to help out with that. There's lots of logistics for that, signing people in, helping with setup of this room, all those kinds of things. So I think we need volunteers for all of that. And Buddy, how do they volunteer for that? Is there a Sign Up Genius or something? Okay, Sign Up Genius on the Pogala website.
Correct.
And then just another plug for my clerical. Please, please, please check our website first before you call and ask us things like, is it an A day or a B day? Or is there school day? Or that kind of thing. So Any other questions for me? Any text questions? Yes.
On the website, is there a way to print the calendar, the A? I'd like to have it on the refrigerator. And
I don't know. That's a good question. I'll ask our webmaster, Mr. De Leon, about how we can possibly print the calendar. We are doing some redesign of the website to make it a little more user friendly. So that could be one thing that we add in.
And the
All
other
right,
thing
and
you
now-
can do is take a screen capture. So if it's not print enabled yet, you could take open up that month and take a screen capture. Not ideal, but could be a short-term
And
solution.
now for Fogella.
Hello. Hello. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Yes, we have a quick list of things to go through. And I'm here, Claudine Wallace-Shiva, representing for Monica today. So let's go through a few things really quickly. So first of all, the Gala Giving Campaign. So what is that? That's when you guys, family, friends, grandparents, aunts, uncles, godparents, donate money to the school in order for us to pay for this very long list of requests that the teachers have. So it's our major campaign driver. It happens every year. The request, the ask, the desire is for $1,000 per student, per family. We understand that some families cannot give that or it's too much of a burden. Please, though, give what you can. You can sign up online. At Fogella. So remember Gala, galacademy.org is for all things school related. And then Fogella or friendsofgala.org for everything parent related. I want you to know that so far, I don't have the current numbers right now, but I think we're looking at about, if I recall, about $21,000. I think that represents, then this was maybe a week ago, I think that represented something like 12 or 13% participation. So our goal is 100% participation. So we have a long way to go. And I really, I encourage you all that this is, if we don't have the money in, we cannot fund the things that the teachers are asking for. And you may ask, well, what are those? I want to know where my money's going. It goes to paying partial teacher salaries. It is going to pay for textbooks that we need. It's going to pay for requests for major Macs that the yearbook team has requested, that the broadcasting team has requested. It pays for transportation to field trips. It pays for other administrative person to help. So we have a long list of requests that have come in from teachers and that Dr. Hicks vets and then the board vets, and then we apply the funds that we have remaining. So if your child was able to give, let's say for Pathways to Medicine, thank you very much. Whatever the delta is, the Fogella organization helps to make up the difference. So it's really, really important. I encourage you, please, no matter what, please give. And in order to do that, two things to tell you about. Number one, next week will be a fundraiser drive. We are requesting volunteers for the morning and the afternoon to support the Gala Giving Campaign. We will be handing out the envelopes, the Fogella Giving Campaign envelopes, and we'll be encouraging you to take one and bring it back the next day. We'll have people out on the sidewalks, parents, in support of it. So if you see us pushing and requesting funds, don't be surprised, but please do give. It is a hugely important. And on that point, I want to let you know that, in fact, we had a contribution made from a gentleman by the name of Pate Stevens. I'll just wait for a sec. Pate Stevens does have children, does not go to the school, and wrote us a check on the spot for $5,000.
Oh, wow.
Amazing. We were very blessed. He can. That was easy for him to do. Would love that. Point is, here's a person who doesn't even come to the school who gave way more than we're getting from families right now. So there's my little plug of guilt. I apologize, but my goal is to make sure that we have the dollars in so that we don't have delays like, where's the computer so we can do yearbook? Do we have VR equipment so we can do things? Do the Underground Rovers, have they come in? Have we ordered them? Okay, I'll stop with the fundraising. One last thing on that. For those parents who on their volunteer forms submitted interest in fundraising, you will likely be getting a call or an email from me or perhaps Elizabeth Sampson asking for your help now. So for those of you who circled that section on the form, I know who you are. Thank you very much. And don't be surprised if in the next couple days you get an email or a phone call asking to figure out what can you do and what time do you have available in the next few days. Okay. We also now have swag available online to order. So the t-shirts, the sweatshirts, the scarves are now available on the friendsofgala.org site. We're working it through. The glitches should be fixed. I believe we have it set up so you can order, and if you get more than, I don't know, more than a couple number of orders, the items will be produced and they will be delivered here to the front office, I think on Tuesdays. So you can swag for parents or friends or godparents, families, aunts, uncles, best friends, swag for gala. That you can walk around in your office with a tumbler or your sweatshirt or various things.
Is this fundraising for the school? Does it
Yes.
have that element?
Good point. So
So-
every piece of swag that's
Give it to the
purchased.
Grandparents, could holiday gift.
That's right. So we have worked with a new vendor and getting very, very great pricing so that basically we front the production costs and then the profit goes right into the Faux Gala Fund to pay for things like computers and laptops and things like that and field trips. Okay, so also, I know that there's a fundraising team that's getting organized with a series of meetings. So again, as I said, if you volunteered for fundraising, please keep an eye out in the newsletter for those meetings and be ready for us to reach out and ask for your help. I also know that there are requests for parent volunteers for the fall festival. I believe that was the reference that Dr. Hicks made to Halloween and the possibility of having a haunted house. So if that's your thing and you love to do that, then please email info@fauxgala.org. Again, if you're interested in volunteering, we need parent volunteers to help with setup and orchestration. Email info@fauxgala.org for the fall festival. And I'm just checking my notes since Monica isn't here to make sure I said everything. Okay, so that's it for me. I'm going to pass it over quickly to Rita Black, who's going to tell you about bingo night coming up. Yay!
Bingo, bingo, bingo. Hey everyone, just a reminder that 1 week from tomorrow is our legendary bingo night, our parents' night out. And it's going to be starting at 7. It goes from 7 to 9. It's at Hamburger Mary's in West Hollywood. I've been posting, if you haven't seen, a countdown to bingo on the Faux Gala Friends. I'm not sure where I'm posting, but it's on the Facebook page, the non-Faux Gala one. Hopefully you'll see it. But there are flyers in the office. Please do come. All of the proceeds go to Faux Gala. It's $20 per person. You get to play 10 games. I'm also going to be sending out a coupon that gives you even more game cards, so you can get even more game cards and a chance to win. I want to thank all the parents who have already donated prize baskets and auction items. I did want to say one thing about that. We have some amazing auction items that are going to be up for bid, such as a weekend getaway at Big Bear, a wonderful cabin. We have a dinner for 2 at Spago. We have, pretty cool, right? We might have a weekend at the Malibu Inn. We're working on that. But many, many other amazing things. People have also donated auction items that will not be up for bid at this particular event because we can only put up 6 auction items. I just want to let you know, if you've donated an auction item and it's not there, it's only because we just didn't have the room. But we're going to have a holiday auction right after Thanksgiving. That's going to be an online auction. So it's going to be another chance for us to raise money for Faux Gala. We want to raise a lot more than we did last year. So I'm super excited. Please come. It's super fun. Did I leave anything out? I feel like I've covered everything. It's super fun. Who's played Legendary Bingo here? It is just the most fun thing that you could ever do.
It's a great way to meet parents.
Thank you. If you're a new parent, it is really a night you can let down your hair, leave the kids at home, have a drink, have many, many laughs, and maybe win a prize, and then also bid on those wonderful auction items. So I look forward to seeing you all there. We're going to get our party hats on, and thank you.
Yeah, it was super fun, super fun. I also am going to make a push for Launch Her Future Women's Leadership Breakfast. So Novelyn, who is our chairperson, is already, God bless her, thank goodness, planning for March. So if that's your thing also, and you haven't gotten involved yet, please let her know. Again, you can reach out via info@fogala.org and let them know I'd like to be involved with this. And then last thing I want to share with you guys is I know that there is some interest around the school in setting something up for International Women's Day this year. There's been some discussions that I've had with various family members and parents and friends about perhaps orchestrating a day where we bring amazing women in from all over and perhaps at all levels to come and talk with the girls and make it a very different, special sort of day. So if you're interested in that, or perhaps you know somebody who is in the neighborhood who would be willing and interested to come for a half an hour and speak to girls, haven't figured out the details or logistics, but if you're interested, then you can, again, write info@fogala.org and write in there that I'm interested in helping on International Women's Day, or that you know somebody that you'd be willing to introduce on our behalf. Or you can write me, vp@fogala.org, and we will look to make that happen. So I think a question?
So on the Women's Leadership Conference, do the girls get to participate on that day or volunteer on that day, or is it just for adults?
So my understanding, and if I recall from last year, yes, there were some girls who came and volunteered. So yes, girls are definitely involved. I don't know how that happens. So you feel free to email and ask. But yes, girls are there. There's some presentations. They help with check-in. There were last year tables where they were able to demonstrate the amazing things that the girls are doing in different classes and on different topics to basically wow and impress our guests, who, by the way, come from all over. So please also consider thinking about who in your world, professional or personal, you would like to introduce to the school and give them a nice breakfast and make them feel really amazed and proud of what your daughters are experiencing.
For me, I'm trying to get my daughter more involved in the community and volunteering. So,
so the question is how to get my daughter more involved in the community here and volunteering.
Right. Well, so I was just thinking that would be an opportunity for her. So I guess, so I'm just kind of thinking out
Right.
loud.
So the question is, how do you find that out?
Right.
So the first thing I would probably say is to also speak to the student leadership committee. So the president and vice president of the student body organization. I know this year the student leaders are doing a lot more in figuring out and working with the school body about how to and what they want to do. So I would say that would be a first step internally that I know about. And then, like you said, identifying these needs and these asks. You know, if she wants to come help in the morning next week and request, fundraising help, that is also very helpful. Dialing for dollars, doing research. There's plenty of ways, especially where the parents are looking to figure things out, where sometimes the students do it better and faster than we do. But I would start with the student body first, I think.
What grade is your
6th grade. Our first year.
Yes.
child? Talk to me after. Thank you.
Any other questions for Fogala? No? Okay. You're welcome. So I do know the last thing is we have WASC. First, I don't know what the acronym stands for, but we do have our WASC visit, I think, this morning. So they're coming back to talk with us and see how things are going. Please don't hesitate at any time to reach out to me. Again, vp@fogala.org. If you have questions, thoughts, ideas, concerns, don't hesitate, as you, I hope, know by now that we're here to listen and to help. Okay. think I'm going to say goodbye to everybody now. Goodbye. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody. Drive safe. Lee. Don't forget to register to vote.
Yeah.